So first of all, Sherman Witcher, write-in candidate for mayor of Rocky Mount, Virginia. And this year, which is the election date, do you know the next election date?
November the 8th,
November the 8th.
2022.
Okay, so how do you go about getting people aware that there are other people? I mean, I've seen up some posters, you know, drive by and I'll see this guy, that guy, some guys I don't know, some guys I do know. And then, okay, well, that puts it in your mind. People, I think, have to have your name in their mind for a while before they actually recognize you. It's like a commercial.
Yeah.
You got to see it, you know, 6, 7, 8 times. Like, oh yeah, I remember that thing. I could buy. I like that. I want to buy that thing.
Well, you said something a while ago. You said I can run for several times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I'm in the head.
you got the name recognition a little bit.
I'm in the head. I got the name recognition, and we in a small platform.
Right. This is not like.
I don't have to compete over here to this place and that place, and then say, well, we don't know him. Right here, everybody know me. The good, the bad, the ugly. They know me. So it's small, it's concentrated, but a mayor can be a powerful office. They're powerful in some of these big cities. But
so you walk around. You walk around and try to knock on doors?
I'm going to go door to door. And I can't do a lot of walk at this moment because, like I said, I got hurt in May.
Yeah.
But I will have my family.
Get a scooter.
Kids. Yeah, I might have to do that. I say it will work. I can go door to door, and when I tell
Of course, not on the sidewalks.
when I talk to people, I tell them who I am, and a lot of them know me, and then I tell your friends, your family, anybody in town. Come in, we're gonna do a write-in, and write-in, we're just gonna slip right in.
So there's a ballot, which I'm sure they're figuring up now. But there's always a space. There should always be a space for write-in candidates,
Yeah,
and you have to get your name spelled correctly
yeah.
on that because there's all kinds of little rules and regulations.
Well, in fact, I'm not gonna be on the ballot at all. It's just gonna be a straight in.
Mhm.
You come in, you know, when it gets down there, it says write in, you write my name.
Correct.
And that's how they.
You want to
gonna
spell
tell-
that out for them, or show it up, or show this to the camera?
Yeah, we'll show it to the camera.
A little closer. Okay. Write-in Sherman Witcher for mayor, November 8th, 2022. There we go.
All right. And here's what it boiled down to. You can keep on doing the same old and getting the same results, which was nothing, or you can start doing something and get some benefits back from it. Some benefits back from it.
What do you see? I mean, are people talking to you and saying, "Hey, you know, this thing here, man, I can't deal with it. Can you help me?"
I talked to a man yesterday, and he was crying. He said, I made him cry. He said, nobody ever comes out to talk to people, and he said, here I'm coming out and talk to him, and I told him I had a thumbs up campaign, and I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And he looked at me, and he said, what? And then I told him, I'm not going to do anything that's going to continue to cause you hardship to keep raising money that you can't afford to pay to stop. We're going to look for ways to try to reduce. And we're going to look for ways to partner with these companies, look for ways to partner with AEP to get these trees down, look for ways to partner with to get your power bill down. So I think when you retired on fixed income, I don't think you technically should have to pay a light bill. I think it should be picked up by the state and county in town.
Because they have enough of your money already.
Yeah. I think they should do the backside of when they do all these benefits and giving them the offsets, that should be part of it. If you let's say whatever your retirement date set of retirement, let's say everybody over 75 don't have to pay a light bill.
Mm-hmm.
And you go say, how are we gonna do that? Because they give these companies millions and millions of dollars to do stuff and to just set up and give them tax break after tax break. They can do that. I think when you get that old, you've lived your life and you deserve somebody to give you an incentive back. Why, if you don't make it $900 a month, your light bill $100 a month, so you're down to $800. Then you have to pay a water bill, so you're down again. Then you sitting around and still have a house mortgage, don't you? You might have to go to the nurse. You can't even go to the nursing home. So you just kind of like, and that's the reason why they call it fixed, because they fix you. We're gonna stop fixing you. It don't need to be a fixed situation. It needs to be, what can we do to make this situation better? And that's what I'm after.
I was curious. I don't know if there's anything that they do on a regular basis, but I know some other towns, other places, probably a lot bigger, have a way to get people around where they need to go. I mean, when you're in a smaller town, there's not many options. You got to hope that a friend's going to take you where you need to go, the doctor, the grocery store, or whatever. And it always.
It could be done. I mean, it sounds like, well, how you gonna do that? Well, I mean, we got one of the biggest bus systems in the state. All these buses, they come in like the train so long, I can see the buses. It could be a routine route set up that internally in town, something that runs constantly, that will get people to and fro to the grocery store, to the drugstore. It's all about planning. And right now, we have been poor stewards of planning.
Well, I saw, well, I'm not sure if I want to give too many details, but I've seen a place where there's all these, half buses. There's like, they're lined up and they're just sitting there. And they're sitting there. And every time I come by, they're sitting there. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Whatever department that is, can't they lend them out to other departments and say, hey, let's set up something?
Well, I guess on the agent side, they have something they partner up with, probably with the government, that they'll go out and pick people up and do that. But what you're talking about is an actual transit system that just keeps constantly running. It runs, if it comes at 1 o'clock every day, comes at 1 o'clock, it's going to keep coming through. And that's what you're talking about, that's the difference. And it's viable, it's doable. It's all about just sitting down, what can we plan to do? See, when you do these things, you create jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what we do know. I might not have that $5 to ride back and forth on my car around town 100 times, but that $5 might take me back and forth over to CVS or back or Kroger's. And then it goes back like we talked about the harvester. Some things you do to help the community. And I don't think it's a bad deal. It should be some kind of transit system. Because it used to be the yellow cab and the cabs, then Uber. Me and my wife talked about that yesterday. These companies have figured out a way to get these people to drive their cars for free.
Yes.
Because when the taxi used to do it, they factored in the tires, the water, the insurance, paying the person to drive, and that's why the bill was so high. So they factored it all in. But now they can say, well, we can take you here for $2 where the taxi would charge you $10. But they didn't factor in, well, you were in your car when your car wore out. So we got to use some common sense. I think common sense is where it's got to go. And no, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, we can stop doing this, we can stop doing. We probably can't stop doing a lot of things, but I know we can stop being stupid. Stuck on stupid is not the option. And that's why I say I won't do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to be stuck on stupid anymore. What we need to do is set daily, try to figure out constantly what can we do to help
Do things better.
And sometimes we might not save no money. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. If we break even and help, we don't have to save money.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you don't have to spend and you've helped, you make money. Mm-hmm. See, people don't understand, well, I didn't make no money. Well, if you broke even and did what you things you need to do, you actually made money.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, well, what about the big nest? Well, what's the purpose of having a big nest and you let all your constituents die away or fall by the wayside? So what good is the money going to do in the bank? And the people who needed it to get back and forth to CVS can't get there and they die on the way. So banking, it's okay when you have extra to bank or when you just need to bank some. But the goal is not to bank. The goal is to bank on people, not bank on the bank. Making the banks fatter and richer and just putting the money in there and say, okay, well, we got a big pocket full of money. No. What we should be able to brag about, look what we've done for this community. We have the people who can't get around, some transportation. And here's something come up. People always talk about the free organizations. I believe in them and I don't believe in them. I don't like them sometimes because people get conceited and they think, well, how do you decide who to give something to free? If we're talking about equal, it's going to be equal. If you come in there, don't need it, it's up to you what you need or not need. It ain't up to me to tell you, you don't need this, I ain't giving it to you. If I say I'm doing a program here and I'm serving the whole community, good or bad, I'm going to give everybody $1. They come on $1, I'm going to give them $1. I don't care if they don't look like they need it or if they look like the poorest person. You promise $1, you get the $1. That's called being fair and being sensible. Now, I know you have programs where we're going to help just this certain group right here, and we understand that. We will do that too. But I think where we're getting lost in the shuffle is who's to say who's fair and all that. Why do a person have to be embarrassed or put aside or ostracized for help? If you do it fair across the board, you will never know that person was down hard as hell, but they got the help they needed, and they didn't have to be embarrassed either. And if a person come in, didn't eat and took the money, oh, well, I'm not upset about it. They came in. You had a reason to come in. If you come in and wanted it, you got it, just like everybody else.
A curious thing about, I know we have a couple of food banks around town, I'm not sure all of them, but I've heard this from several people, that sometimes people get upset because it's not working. They complain about, oh, I didn't like that, or I didn't like this, or whatever food, or whatever, and I'm thinking, it's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
It's free.
So, I don't
Well,
know.
and it goes back to what I was just saying. You can't do everything 100% right all the time, but let's strive to do the best we can do every time.
Mm-hmm.
And the best we can do every time is to make sure that people are not embarrassed, not felt bad because they need something. Like I said, sickness, health problems, or just down on your luck, or just time, or divorces, this, that. This puts people in harm's way. All these things put people in harm's way, and I'm not gonna sit here and look down on you because you need some. You know, you can be up here today and down here tomorrow, but if you got a sharing and caring community, it don't matter if you're up here or you're down here. That community gonna help you, cause rich people can be rich and something happen to their kid, or their kid be sick and all that. They don't get no love because they got a pocket full of money. They don't need our love. So I think what we need to go back is joy and love. No, we got to love our community and love our people to make it understand that that's what these positions, the mayor and all these other people, the council, and then when you start going abroad, that's what their job is to try to love what they do in their district and help people to understand. Well, this is what we need in our district. This is what we need. Because every district is not the same. And that's, you asked me what I found. Every district is not the same. Every town's not the same. Because you might be in a city town, they might not need stuff they need in a country town. But they both towns, or they both cities, different kind of city. So you got to be able to understand the need. Get the need right. Get the love right, then get the need right. And everything else start falling on through. People, they'll knock you down with religion, they'll knock you down with politics, they'll knock you down with this, that. Let's just start loving. Love first, and then we'll let everything else take care of itself. And, I've had people be mean to me. I don't mean I have to be mean back to them. Sometimes you got to stand your ground, so we understand that. But if we start with love, and that's the position of the mayor, you got to love the community. You want to spread that joy, and the joy is what can I do to help the community? I wouldn't be sitting over here trying to say I'd take the job if I didn't think I am qualified. And what makes you qualified? Well, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I lived in this community, and I live in different communities. I live in this community, and sometimes I need something. Do you have to feel embarrassed to ask somebody, or people just look, well, I don't know, I ain't gonna help, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. Let's take what I'm not gonna do and turn it into what can I do. Stop asking. See, people start with, well, I can't do that. No, let's turn it around to what can I do? And then if we can't do it, I'm gonna give you a good reason why we can't. And then if it's still that reason don't make sense, we gonna see, well, what can
Maybe
we do?
somebody else can do that.
Yeah, so it's a broad span and a paintbrush, but at the end of the day, you're human, I'm human, these people, everybody, we're human, and we have to survive and thrive. And if we can get the mental part of it right, we'll work.
Well, that's the problem, I think. It's somehow, I think we're more separated than we used to be. It seems like we aren't all in this together.
We separated by choice. Because some people say, well, you got your people that say the election wasn't right. You got this people. Well, and then we all have to melt back in the pot of school and back at church and all that stuff right there. It's by design. And if you let your mind get clouded with things that you shouldn't let it get clouded with, that'll be the separation. We can do things and say things about bad stuff and turn it to good, and it would be good as it could be, but it be bad as it want to be. I think at the end of the day, still go back with love and joy. Because, we're separated. I mean, that happened in the olden time of the Bible. We separated, so we all not gonna be on the same page every day. But we're gonna start out at the same every day, and we might end up on a different page, but we start out the same every morning. We're gonna race it clean and start over again. Okay, let's see. Business at hand. We're gonna start again. We might get way here about evening time, but tomorrow morning we're gonna still be right here. We're gonna start over again, and you got to work together, because if we don't work together, that's our demise. And
Not just this country.
we can keep bucking the system and keep saying, well, we want to tear this down, we want to do that, we want something totally new. Well, I have no problem with new stuff, new things, but none of it will work if we don't put love in it and caring for each other. And we can't be just a number game, expendable. We're not expendable. We are here, like I said, you are just as important as this person. There's no it's we. And, you know, I try not to be in that I stuff. You know, sometimes we'll fall by the wayside. I need to do it. I just get depressed and mad. Say, oh, but decompress, love, love, and I'm gonna express love. If I win or lose, ain't nothing gonna change in my thought of what needs to happen for this community. We still need to figure out ways to reduce the cost for the community in taxes. You know, like people get hung up on taxes. Oh, well, I don't pay no more taxes. Well, I don't mind paying taxes if the taxes
Do something
do
good.
something that we need to be doing. I mean, we got to do things, but don't just do it to have it. Talking about we just want to keep piling in the bank, and then we got trees growing through the light line, putting your livelihood in.
I mean, apparently the state has a huge surplus. At
and
least
we're
that's what I've
not,
read.
and we're not drawing in no new businesses. You know what I mean? It's
Giving
like,
tax breaks.
what are we doing to get these jobs here? What are we doing to try to get more pay? And then if we can't all the time get more pay, what can we do to reduce the payments, reduce the bill? See, sometimes you don't have to get a raise if you can reduce the cost that you raise. So none of what I'm talking about is new, but I think somewhere along the line we forgot. And we forgot how to survive, and I say it's how to live, and you know, it becomes a white-black thing. It's not a white and black thing, it's a people thing. You know, I'm an American, and we all Americans. I say, and you're the town of Rocky Mountain, you're a town of Rocky Mountain. So that's what the mayor, you'll be the mayor of Rocky Mountain. So it ain't about one person, it's about all people. Everybody living in this town, it's about you. You have a say. Now, all the time am I going 100% do everything you say? No, it can't be that way. It won't be that way. But I'm 100% listen all the time.